A waitress I read about kept a crumpled dollar bill in her wallet for 11 years. Not out of nostalgia, not because it was lucky. She kept it because the day she earned it, she made a decision. She was done being someone who watched every paycheck disappear before the next one arrived. That dollar wasn't a souvenir, it was a direction. And starting from that single dollar, she built something most people who earn twice what she earned never managed to. Here's the number that makes this interesting. Studies consistently find that around 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And here's what's strange. A chunk of that number makes over $100,000 a year. So it clearly isn't about the paycheck. Which means the fix probably isn't what you think it is either. If income solved the paycheck to paycheck problem, everyone earning more would be fine. They're not. The variable that actually separates people who get ahead from people who stay stuck is a handful of beliefs. Not strategies, not apps, not budgets. Beliefs that run quietly underneath every money decision you make. Change the beliefs and the behavior follows. Here are the 5 that matter most. Number 5 is the one almost nobody talks about. Mindset shift number 1. The old belief says, I'll start saving when I get the raise, when the bills slow down, when life gets easier. The new belief says, the habit comes first. The money follows the identity. Every person who eventually built financial breathing room started before the conditions were perfect, because the conditions never became perfect on their own. The one move that locks this shift in. Set up an automatic transfer of $5, or $10, or $25 every single week into a separate savings account, starting today. Not when you feel ready. Today, the amount isn't the point. What you're doing is training yourself to be someone who saves before the emergency, before the raise, before the perfect month that never quite arrives. The waitress who kept her first dollar wasn't waiting for easier conditions. She was building the identity. Mindset shift number 2. One of the most damaging things a person can tell themselves is that they are just naturally bad with money, as if it's a fixed trait, like height. It isn't. What most paycheck-to-paycheck earners actually have isn't a character flaw. They have a broken system, and broken systems can be fixed. Here's how the broken system usually works. Money arrives. It sits in checking. Life happens, rent, food, a car repair, a dinner out, a few things on Amazon. By the time you think about saving, there's nothing left. This isn't a willpower failure. It's a design failure. The system is built to spend everything by default. You're not bad with money. You're running bad software. The one move that locks this shift in, redesign the order of operations. The moment income lands, one amount moves automatically to savings and one to bills before you can spend it. You live on what's left, not what's left after everything else. This is not a new idea. It is the single structural change that breaks the cycle for the most people in the shortest time. You're not fixing willpower. You're replacing it with architecture. Mindset shift number 3. If more income automatically created financial breathing room, every raise would fix the problem. It doesn't. There's a well-documented pattern called lifestyle inflation. The moment income rises, spending rises to match it, and the paycheck-to-paycheck feeling remains. The same stress, just at a higher number. The one who that the net income goes up. A raise, a bonus, a freelance payment. Automatically or to adjust. Most people never do this because by the time they think about it, the new income already feels normal and there's nothing left to redirect. Bank the increase before it disappears into upgraded normal. Mindset shift number 4. There is nothing wrong with spending money on things that matter to you. The problem is spending it impulsively on things you won't even remember in a week. The I deserve this trigger is one of the most reliable ways the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle refuels itself, because it feels earned in the moment and regrettable in the bank statement. The one move that locks this shift in, add a mandatory 48-hour waiting period between the impulse and the purchase for anything above $30 that isn't a planned expense. Put it in a wish list, walk away, and revisit it 2 days later. Most impulse purchases quietly lose their urgency in 48 hours. Some genuinely don't, and those are worth buying deliberately. The pause isn't about deprivation, it's about choosing on purpose instead of reacting. Mindset shift number 5. And this is the one almost nobody talks about in the paycheck-to-paycheck conversation. Cutting expenses is essential, but it has a hard floor. At some point, you've cut everything that can be cut, and you're still close to the edge. That's when the conversation has to shift from shrinking the outflow to growing the inflow. And in 2026, the tools to do that are dramatically more accessible than they've ever been. The barrier to building a second income stream used to be capital, specialized skills, or time. AI has compressed all three. One person with a free tool, a few hours a week, and a specific skill can now build a faceless content channel, a digital product, a small automated service, or an AI-assisted freelance offer that earns on its own time, not just when they're clocked in. This isn't a pitch. It's a structural shift in what's possible, and it's the reason the paycheck-to-paycheck trap now has an exit that didn't exist a few years ago. A consistent side income of even over $800 a month is the difference between a budget that's always straining and one that has room to breathe. It's the difference between building an emergency buffer and watching it drain every few months. It's the move that makes all four of the other mindset shifts finally stick, because when you're not panicking about every paycheck, you can actually think long-term. The move: pick one AI-assisted income angle that fits your skills and spend the next 30 days on nothing else. Here's what ties all five together. A budget is a tool. An app is a tool. An automatic transfer is a tool. But tools don't work with money or with income of ceiling or the long-term result. The paycheck-to-paycheck trap is, more than anything else, an identity trap. And the waitress who kept her first dollar understood that before she understood anything else about personal finance. She wasn't saving a dollar. She was deciding who she was. 5 shifts. Start before the conditions are perfect. Fix the system, not the willpower. Bank every income increase before lifestyle adjusts. Add 40 hours between impulse and purchase. And begin building one income source that doesn't depend on clocking more hours. You don't need all 5 at once. Pick the one that matches where you are stuck right now, and make the one move that locks it in. The paycheck-to-paycheck cycle doesn't break the day income goes up. It breaks the day you stop running the beliefs that kept you in it. If you want the practical playbooks, how to build a side stream, how to audit your money, how to use AI to build income that doesn't require more of your time, subscribe. That's what we break down on this channel every week. One system at a time. No fluff, no guru promises. Just what actually works, explained simply.